Hello Magic the Gathering lovers, Matt here from Total MTG, and War of the Spark is nearly upon us, and I'm doing my first Spotlight card from the new set, and it's one of the 36 Planeswalkers. Now of course I'm a blue mage, so it makes sense to start off with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. But the question we have to ask ourselves is it good or is it bad? So the new Jace is 1 and triple blue, comes in with 4 loyalty, has a static ability at the top and a +1 and a -8. New way of doing Planeswalkers, they've changed it all up. So if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Speaking about Laboratory Maniac sort of decks, this is what's going to happen with Jace. The +1 is just like Thought Scour, that great card in Modern. Very strong, very playable. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard and you draw a card. The -8 is not an emblem. There's no emblem. Draw 7 cards. Then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So you want to be drawing lots of cards. With that static ability at the top, if you draw a card, you know, no cards in there from the library, you win the game. And the -8 will obviously help you get there. So, on the face of it, it looks a very good card, but the 4 mana slot is it's a very big slot to have in Standard. There's a lot of great 4 mana spots in there, and especially when you're talking other formats like Modern, that is going to be hard as well. You easily go into an EDH deck, like I mentioned, Laboratory Maniac sort of decks are going to love this, but is it going to be good in Standard? Let's have a look at Standard first of all. Simic Nexus, it could be in the Simic Nexus deck as an extra type of win con. Now, when you think they do use the Krasis as, playing and drawing loads of cards, you're doing the X mana, but you do get a creature at the end of it. But how many times does that creature just die literally as soon as you played it? But it does draw you cards, which is obviously very good for that. If you're playing the Krasis for 4 mana instead of playing a Jace for 4 mana, what's going to be better value? If you're playing Krasis for 4 mana, that is just really, really bad. And you're probably in a bit of a bad spot and in a bit of trouble. But playing Jace for 4 mana, you're going to go in there, start off with your Thought Scour, getting the cards away from your graveyard, potentially trying to find your Nexus and maybe 2 of those turns and do everything again. I could see it as a really, really good addition to that type of deck. Obviously, having cards like Charachters Cantor in that deck is going to do nothing but help Jace out going through your cards. So one card that I think would go very well with the new Jace is Expansion Explosion. Explosion, deal X damage to target player, and then you can draw X cards to target player as well. Get rid of all those cards in your library, doing damage at the same time, and then potentially building up to get that win with Jace, if not by doing damage to opponents with the Explosion. When we look at other cards as well in Standard that could potentially go well with Jace, Persistent Petitioners is definitely one that springs to mind. The 1/3 milling card, the human advisor that likes to win by milling your opponent. Perhaps that's a way that you can do it as well, and just mill yourself. Why not? It says target player, put the top 12 cards in your library, so just do it to yourself. I'm going to jump over to Modern now. You get some very strange ad nauseum decks, so perhaps Jace could go with ad nauseum. Reveal the top card of your library and put that card in your hand. You lose life equal to its coveted mana cost. There's ways of preserving your life and not dying on that little enchantment that saves you from dying with loss of life. You may repeat this process any number of times. And of course, that will just trigger the Jace. Ad nauseum, Jace the Wielder. That could be an absolutely jank fest in Modern. And I can see that working really, really well and being fun at the same time. One thing I will say about Jace, Wielder of Mystery is not to just totally get distracted by the self-mill cause here, because it's going to be a great, great powerful card for graveyard-focused decks. Putting stuff into your graveyard is going to be very good, having the Thought Scour as the +1 ability, bringing them back with certain cards, manage to get creatures onto the battlefield, using Find and Finality potentially and stuff like that. There's so many different ways to play graveyard decks, and Jace, Wielder of Mystery is only going to enhance that. And the self-mill, it might well be a viable win con, but, you might be able to win other ways as well. Use it as a graveyard enabler and potentially win games that way as well. So all in all, I'm actually quite impressed with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. And just because I'm a blue mage, I wouldn't say this is good if I didn't think it was good. But the question was, is it good or is it bad? And for me, it's good. Jace, Wielder of Mystery gets a thumbs up from me. I think the 1 triple blue 4 loyalty Planeswalker is definitely going to see some play, and maybe in some janky decks as well. But the whole point about it is it can still be very strong. Like I said, Thought Scour is strong. milling yourself to get a win is very strong as well. I've talked about the explosion expansion ad nauseum potentially and persistent petitioners. There's different ways that you can go with Jace, and I do feel it's a good card. So boys and girls, let me know what you think of Jace Wielder of Mystery. Do you think it's good or do you think it's bad? Thanks a lot for watching the video. I will be doing a few more of these spotlights as well, so going through some of the other Planeswalkers. Any of them that you want me to go of, put that in the comments as well. I would really appreciate it. Smashing the like always helps the channel, and if you love what you see, subscribing to the channel is a great way to support us as well. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.